Hey guys, how you doing? How's everything going? Good, okay. Let's do it to it. Hold on, let me make sure. Make sure everything's streaming good. Yep, it is good. Alrighty. So we'll give everybody some time to come in. Okay, I gotta turn my board. This is, they don't have the games of Nakamura, the most recent ones. This is the ones from Gibraltar. So this is, I pulled one from the Gibraltar. So we'll get to see. I can't wait to show you some of those. The ones, the ones when he played Duda. He really did some really good end games and tactics, but St. Louis hasn't posted them yet on their on chess games for Nakamura yet. So when they come out, we'll go over them. Okay, I promise we will. They just haven't come out yet. And we'll also go over Wesley So's ones too, so that'll be fun. Let's see here. So E4, C5, Knight F3, D6, D4. So takes D4. Takes D4. So it's just a Sicilian defense setup. And this whole Sicilian base is just about destroying the center. See, black traded the C pawn for the D pawn, so black has more central pawns more than white does. And that's actually the goal, is to dominate the center and also more spatial development. So it's an interesting setup for sure. Knight C3, A6, Bishop D3, G6, F3, and Queen C6. So this takes, you have to have, as Jeremy Soman says, there's something called target conscience. What that means is you have to be on the lookout for, one second, on the lookout for like targets. Like this is on protected piece, and we have to be on the lookout for that. And so that's why Naka played Queen B, and it's also attacking. So if this knight moves, which it has to, white loses the ability to castle now, because you can't castle into check, because if you did, the rook would come here and the king would come there, but the queen is right on it. You see, okay. So you can't castle through check. So bishop G6, Queen D2. So now white's going to have to castle on the opposite color. Opposite side, opposite color. Opposite side. And that's the only way, because he can't castle king side because the queen's guarding the castling spot. And then G3, Bishop E6, and then B5. So they're going to try to blast away at the king, the queen side, now that white has castle queen side. That's our goal, is to basically get in B4, A5, A4, A3, and try to excuse me, try to ram down these two pawns down the throat of white, and just throw as many charges at the walls as we can to breach the walls. That's what these guys are. These guys are like charge throwers. We want to charge in there and throw as many things to crack holes in the wall. And even if we have to sacrifice both these guys to breach these two spots here, get rid of these two pawns, that allows for us to castle, and we can get our rooks then in via that way. So these guys are gonna try. They're gonna basically go on a mission, an all-out mission. You know what? Their whole goal is to win, and whatever it takes for them to win, they're gonna go for it. If they have to give their life up for these two pawns here, they're more than happy to do it because they're doing it for the kingdom, for us to win. And that's and G5 is white's trying the same thing on the other side, but it's a little too slow because it's going to be pretty hard to break down this fortress wall right here. Especially Naka hasn't castled yet, so even if you did breach the king side, Naka could actually go king to d7, excuse me, king d7, and then slide the rooks over anyways. And then this time, these boys are girls, whatever they are, let's call them our fearless soldiers. Our fearless soldiers will have protectorate people in arms to back them up. So these guys will be giving them extra reinforcements, supplies, and so these little soldiers will have more power of an attack. Knight to h5. This prevents this here also. Now that the knight is funny that it's on h5, this pawn can't ever come to h5 itself, even though it's, and if it does move, then that ends up becoming a potential weakness. So it's like, whoa, that's a pretty intense move there. d5. So we have to get rid of that. That knight is a pain in the drain, and that actually helped us because our if you notice, the majority of the pawns are on our pawns are on light squares, so we got rid of our worst piece. But you got to remember, Jeremy Silmitz said there's something called imbalances, and all grandmasters know imbalances. Now that this bishop has been surrendered, the only side they have two snipers now. We have a charging knight, a knight that's going to charge in gun ho, but they have two snipers. One is on we have a dark squared one, that's it. They have a light squared one. So white's gonna, with proper play, gonna try to play on the light squares. So that's, if we can, we'd want to put our pawns on light squares to make this bishop obsolete, not as good. And we don't want to make any light square weaknesses if we don't have to. So like if it came down to a knight versus excuse me, light squared bishop, what you're gonna do is put all your pieces on dark squares, all your pawns on dark squares, and then you can play around that, because there's no way that your pieces or pawns can be attacked at that point. Boy, excuse me, just 1 second. I need to get a drink of water. Much better. That's better. Okay, dokie. Knight a5. So king moves. See, we're trying to now trade off this knight for that knight, and if we can do that, we then can get our pawns rolling, and that's what Nakamura does. So c takes d, and now castles is a good idea. Castles is actually a great idea. And on move 17, Nakamura castle king-sided. F4. Pawn f4, e6, bishop e4, rook a, rook a e8, queen d3, d5, not d5, f5. And if this was actually to be played here, the knight would be attacking the bishop and this pawn, so it wouldn't turn out very well. Let's say pawn takes, right? We have knight takes here, so we probably wouldn't want to take. We'd want to take with the bishop, and now we're attacking twice, right on, and we can double up. So yeah, that's why he didn't do anything like that. And then kazam, there we go. So what happens here after takes, we come here. If he comes back, Nakamura has e4, and then he's got this fork, see? Oops. So he would he probably wouldn't want to take with a pawn. He'd want to take with the rook at that point to try to keep things closed and dominate the open file. Now he's got a passed pawn, and this is under fire. We can double up, so it's all good for us. So e5 and knight there. We just takes. He takes. Rook goes to e6. Queen c5, and everything's holding really nicely. I don't really see any problems. Next move's going to be queen f2 and try to get in to b2. So queen e2 is forced. Queen takes e2, bishop takes e2, and then king f7. Now this rook is under fire. If it takes here, this bishop falls. So this is a big time problem. If he takes here, he takes here, the bishop has to kind of run. So where does it run to? Hi, how you doing? Can you hear me? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right, perfect. I just wanted to make sure that I did. Sometimes I have every once in a while I have internet issues. Once in a long while, and it disconnects. I just wanted to make sure because when you said test, I thought you and hello, I thought you couldn't hear me. Well, we're going over a Gibraltar game, Nakamura, and then we'll head into tactics. We're getting our minds warmed up. I really wish they would have the St. Louis ones out right now, but they don't have any of those ones that Nakamura is facing Duda yet. Those are out of this world, excellent for tactics. I can't wait till they release those into chessgames.com for Nakamura's personal on his games. I can't wait till they do that because we'll go over a couple of those. Some of those are out of this world good. Duda did some really beautiful saves, and Nakamura did some beautiful saves. Huh. I don't know why that is. Sorry about that if that's yeah, it's like ugh, but I just can't wait. Oh, okay. But I just can't wait till those come out because those are like tactical masterpieces on a board. I hope they make. I hope Chess.com uses some of those games for their tactics because those are really good tactics that were played by Duda and Nakamura. Knight F3. So trying to spread the word out to chessgames.com to get some of those Nakamura games out there for the fans. Trust me, people would download them if you put them out there. They'd be so great. I guess I'm a fan of that. I love the tactics. So takes. So up here. So basically, he back here. This one I want to show you. Okay, he moved his king, double up there, and then he noticed 2 points. There's a fork. So Nakamura picked out that there was a fork of a rook, and then this is under fire. So it's like whoa. So he just picked up a pawn, and now this is under threat as well. So he takes here, even though there's going to be a check, he still has king g8. And this is under fire, this is protected, and he's got 3 pass pawns. These 3 pawns are nothing compared. These 2 pawns will lock these guys down, not a problem. These 3 pawns are going to be stopped by these 2, so it's not a big deal with that. So rook d7, bishop, and then now we can get these pawns are rolling up the board. We don't really mind. These pawns are too slow, even if they get all the pawns. Takes. And even if a rook was played here, the king can come up and guard this, and these pawns are just gonna just mow down the board like boom, kaboom, kaboom, all the way down the board until one of them queens. It's good. It's like a avalanche of pawns. So push bishop there, trying to stop it, but that doesn't stop it. Then f4. Now this f pawn comes in. The second f pawn comes in very handy. This we can't push here, of course. There's that was a tactic of a pin. See, it was a pin. This pawn is pinned to that pawn at this moment, so we would lose and have a big problem. So now that the king moved, let's just make a move. This is playable because even if g takes at this point, we can take there because there's no check, and when he takes, you get a queen. So there's no more pin. Bishop f. Now we just go g3. Now the next move is going to be f4 and g2. So if he tries this here, and that'll end up being played, and then if he comes here, actually he can't come there. So let's try a different move. Let's say nope, can't even do that there. Let's see if we can get our king involved. Nope, can't even get the king involved. This pawn's protected. Wow. That is really nice. There's no way you can win this. Even if you tried sacking there, you're still gonna fall. So even if here, this has to take our takes here, and then we just play there, and if he tries to get these guys rolling, we just take there, just come back, and there's nothing. So wow, that's beautiful. Okay, do you guys want to go over some the puzzles now? Are you guys ready? Are you ready for puzzles? All right, let's do it to it then. All right. We just had to go over the end of that. I love the end game type of play. Nakamura is really well principled in end games. So him and Wesley So and Fabi, those three are like. Oh, though I can't forget Magnus. Gary's good too. I guess there's so many good ones out there, but my teacher told me that Wesley So and Nakamura are like the not Karpos, but the Capablancas of the endgame. Yeah, Carlson too. So I'd say that for the modern era, it would be Wesley So, Nakamura, Fabiano, and Carlson would be the four that you probably would want to study for endgame. But if you're wanting basically the beginning of the end game players, you're wanting Capablanca is the end game player. He's really good at end game Capablanca's games. He has beautiful end game play. Because some of the modern endgame players are very complicated, but I like Capablancas because his endgames are pretty straightforwardly. Yeah. Let's see here. Rook. See, Rook C4. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Does he have any move continuation that he can do besides? Yeah. Well, he could move his rook back. He could move the knight back. See, the only problem with rook to c4 I see is knight d5, knight d5. That's the only. You have to always look for their best continuation. But then if he does that, then you have queen e5 check, and after f6, then you can play queen takes d5, queen takes d5, and I think you'd be okay there. Yeah. Yeah, because you have to always look for like this here. Let me see. Oh, that would be, yeah. That's a potential idea too. Something similar to that is basically what could happen. So that's it. That is an interesting idea. So if that there, then, well, I guess if you did this line here, smart, I think that you probably could play queen b5 at that point. Queen b5 would probably be playable at that moment, because now you're forking the rook and the knight at the same time. So it's that queen b5's the winning knockout there. And the reason I'm thinking it might be rook c4 now is it guards rook c4 guards the pawn, attacks the knight, and if knight goes back to d5 like what we showed, we can pick up the I missed one move. Sorry about that. I forgot to add in bishop takes. Bishop takes d5. That's the last move. I knew I forgot one move. Oh. Oh, gotcha. That is true. Oh, yep. Hey, how you doing? That is true. I did forget that the rook is here, so it can't interpose. I mean, it can't. Our queen can't go through that rook. Wouldn't it be nice though if it could? Boy, this is interesting. Let's see. Let me see. So you were talking Morphe's Revenge. I see there be. Yeah, I'm liking c4 too. And then now we can we got to figure in that. Wow, that's different. So we have to figure in. Yeah, queen e5, queen e5 check, f6, queen e7 check, queen takes, e7, rook takes e7 check, rook f7, rook takes f7 check, and then king takes f7. Then after that, rook takes b4, and I think we're up an exchange in that line. This is a line. Yeah. You have to check on e5, queen checks on e5, f6, then we check on e7, queen takes e7, rook takes e7, check, rook f7, rook takes f7, check, king takes f7, and then our c rook takes b4, and we are up a piece. We're up 2 pawns. Let's do it. Yay! Hooray! Hooray! We got it. That was a pretty deep one, but we got it. Yay! Great job. There we go. Onward and upward to the next one. Okay, dokie. Oh, not again. Another fun endgame, right? This has to be something to do with a stalemate. I've just got to figure out how to get our pieces to the stalemate spot. How do we sacrifice? How do we get a queen to a4? If we can get a queen to a4, we would be right as rain. Yeah, we are the team for sure. We could do it. Let's see here. We have a discovered check. Excuse me. We have a discovered check with our kings, so potentially we can do something with that, but I don't like the position either, but we are stuck with it. Let's see here. Oh boy, I'm trying to see if I can't let's see, king h3. If king h3, check, king f1, king h2. Let's see, king h3, king f1, rook checks on f7. King get i2. That's what I'm kind of looking at to see if we don't have something like this. King h3, king h3 check, king f1, king h2. If a1 equals queen, then we have rook to g1 check, and then we pick up the rook. That is a good question. I don't. That is a good question. Probably. Um, hmm. We still can win the pawn though. We still would have we'd have this move here. King takes h5. We still could take. Well, if rook b7, then he'd go a1 equals a1 equals queen. Yeah. Let's see. King h3, king h1, g2, queen, rook h2, king g2. I got it. I know it. I know it. I know what it is. King h3, check. King h1, rook e1, a equals queen. Oops, a equals queen. a1, sorry, a1 equals, oops, I need to do that. A1 equals queen. And then rook to e1 check. Queen takes e1, stalemate. So that's an idea there. Let's see. So if let's go with it. There we go. So after he takes here, it took a second. I had to figure out how we can deprive him of, deprive our king. Yeah. You had to see that this is covered here. This is covered. This is covered. All we need is this diagonal to be covered, so we play here, and his only, I guess he could play there, but if he did that, it's checkmate, so he's got a queen. When he moved over, he's got a queen. That's the only way to stay from getting mated. And so forced move. Then this is covered, that's covered, and these two squares are covered. Yep. There we go. Oh, you want to check what if king f1? I think we still get the same. It's a little different now. If we played here, king f1, I think king h2, and if he queens here, this was the idea that I was looking at. We get there. We win the queen, so he can't do king f2 either. He would have to go c4, and then you have rook g2, and this covers here, and he doesn't have enough time. We just grab there and we win. It's still a draw. It's still a draw. Doesn't matter what he turns this into, because he's just too his stuff's too slow. There we go. So that's it. Let's do another one. Let's put in and do this one. Let's see, if we play rook takes d8, what can he actually, oh, he could play, ouch, knight, maybe knight d3, knight d3 check. I'm wondering what's wrong with just grabbing the rook. I don't see anything. I'm trying to see, do we lose anything by grabbing the rooks? I don't think so. Yeah. I don't really see anything wrong with let's grab the rook. Okay. Okay. Hey, do you guys mind if we do a game? Look at a game for just a second? We're on our spree, so this will give us a chance to rest our brain. Yeah, we're doing it. Alright. Send it in, Fox. We'll go over it. Hey Fox, have you been watching the Kings Showdown or whatever I hope I'm pronouncing it right for St. Louis on the St. Louis one. But it's some really good play. The Nakamura and Duda games are out of this world. Do you have the let me make sure they're still there. Yep, good. But yeah, this is kind of we'll go over we'll analyze this while Fox is getting the games. Okay. We'll take a look at that. Alright. Oops, there we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, we're in it. So ignore the first 10 moves. Okay. But we'll just go through them anyways. Don't worry about the... Oh, you're black. Gotcha. Okay. Wow, I didn't know they had an English opening called the Great Snake Variation. It does look like a snake though. And now all you need is this, and you have the perfect snake formation, like that. And I think I see what this is. This must be the tail. So this is like the head, or is this the head? And then this is the body. Because the pawn structures always resemble a like an image. Like there's the rat, there's the dragon, there's I'm not. It's not the porcupine. It's the I forgot that it's maybe it is. But then there's the hippo and all different types of openings, hippo defense and everything. So let's move on to this. Hedgehog. There we go. That's what I meant. Alright, so now we're in the heat of the battle now. White's got a pretty good bind in the center for what I can see. You do have a lot of central squares controlled. He doesn't have really any in routes because of his awkwardly placed bishop on e2. His dark square bishop is out of play because of f4. His rook has to do a rover to get in, and there's no weak points. So I would say there's about equal here. The only weakness that you potentially have, Fox, is b5, and he also has b4. So you both have dueling weaknesses. One's on b4, for him and b5 for you. So that's about it. Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's not much better. And the only difference for white that white would have, like what you're saying, Morphe, is that white has more space. That's the only difference, because their pieces are almost identical for yeah, scope. Yeah, this one's a little better, but it really doesn't. It really can't do anything because that's protected and that's protected. So the only benefit white has is e5 and the weak point for knight to b5. So white has two and black only has one, in my opinion, right there. And black does have that, but it can be easily repelled with g4. So castles, it's a good move. Yeah. So it's like there's two bad pieces, but in theory this is the bad piece. This bishop could come to life at any time with potentially f6. When an f6 is played, this rook could come to life. This bishop can come back to life. It's just really hard. This looks like a advanced French gone wrong, in my opinion. Gone right, I mean, for white. Of an advanced French that has gone right for white. Because usually in the French defense, you want to break down, in the advanced variation, you want to destroy the center white pawns. And we don't have c5 anymore to throw into the mix, and even if we did take here, that pawn could take back, and now we're going to get squeezed to no end. We're going to have to somehow grind on that d4 pawn, and that's going to be pretty hard to get to. So you got to be careful when you deal with the French advanced variation, that you don't allow your opponent to cement the center, because then they'll develop around that and they'll squeeze you to no end, and it'll just be a sad. You won't have fun playing that as black. Trust me. I played it against black before, and it is pretty dangerous if you can get the center like brick solid, block solid like this. White has a pretty good advantage. Yeah, that would be the only way, Morphe, to actually have any chance of survival. That is a great principle that Jeremy Silman does talk about. If you are in a spatial bind, you want to start removing as many pieces off the board as you can, and then you have more space for your king and less chance for a mating threat. So it's potentially you're able to hold at that point. So bishop to b1, rook c8. So you're dominating the open file. Yeah, this is actually a good spot now, but I am not surprised if he doesn't take there, though. Try to I think that would probably be the best move, is to potentially take there. But the only problem is he could take back. That's weak then, though. So if you take here, then you have a pin there. So not fun. There we go. Every piece is coming into the fray. Now black's starting to look much better. Knight c2, nice move, excellent move, great move there. That's a very important move. Can you just plain? I guess you could just win a pawn. I was thinking of this, but you trade 2 pieces for a rook, and that's actually better for uh, white. This is actually equal game, and now you're up a whole pawn. So black's starting to look a lot better. Black's starting to look a lot better. Knight f3, yeah, because he doesn't want to stay there and try to do a rover here. You'd be more than happy to trade that off, and now that's a weakness. That's a weakness that could come up there, and it's like now everything's falling apart in white's position. So white can't play passive. White needs to attack, and white didn't do that. Yeah, d4. Bishop d3, queen d5. Okay, we need to, yeah, excellent. So we're getting our rooks involved. So you're looking at potentially that move. Okay. Yeah, that was, I don't like that. That was a bad move on his part there. Nice, nice. Okay. Let's see, what can we do here? If we played bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, check. It comes up here. Check. Trying to see if we can't somehow get any other pieces involved. I'm not sure if this is better for black or not. Let me just take a look. Let's say equal. Okay. Wow. Okay, so it's better for okay. I think you might wanted to have played there, maybe something like that. I kind of could see why you didn't, though. You didn't want to have that dropped on you like the plague. Yeah, that wouldn't have been fun. So it's kind of like that was forced. Takes. There's the rook. Wondering if that isn't and then if here, then you got that. And now you have this that, oops, sorry. That would be not the best move. Probably, well, maybe we could play that. And if bishop takes here, takes, king takes. And we do potentially have rook over here, so yeah. So takes, takes. Got stuck. There's this move here that you could play. That move wins a piece, I believe. This move would win a piece, but okay, so ooh. Let's see here. Not sure. This is a interesting position here. Hey, how you doing? Let's see there. Maybe something like this, and then if that. You'd have to play there. So maybe something like here. Trying to see if I can't provide a win for you. Maybe something like this now. And then if check, you can just move. I think it's this. I think this wins here. I think that wins now. Because I don't see any way. I don't really see any way that he can win. Do you see any way now? I think this is the winning sequence here. Is this it? Did this win? Knight takes d2. I don't know. I'm liking this. I know that if he plays here, we could just take there, and he can't. He can only play here or here. If he plays here, we come up. What about f4? That would work too. Yeah, you can't come back there now because you have that covered. That's cut. Yeah, at this point, I think you're winning. Yeah, this would be winning now. Yeah, basically his best would be to try to trade off, and then you just bring your rook up, and there's nothing really he could do. He can try to play this here, then takes, and so maybe he'd play over here now that I think about it. So well, the king's in check right now. See, the king was in check, so you have to. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, that would pick up a piece for sure. And now the queen's hanging, so you can actually play rook check there, and then when the queen takes, then you would have to take. So the king would have to come over here. And at this point, you take there, he takes here, and you could just play rook all the way up there, and so that you're keeping the king out of your pawn, and this is going to go. Now you're controlling the whole back rank, and you're controlling that, so you're winning. Yeah, that's winning. Nice. Yeah, it's all over now. Did we answer your question, Fox? Okay. Do you want to do some tactics now? Or do you have another game you wanted to go over? Oh. Yeah, we don't really. What happened was after this here, this move was played, and after here and here, there's no way to stop the queening. So the queen was played here, and the problem was after the trade, this pawn was actually pushed. Yeah. He took the. Oh, I thought he pushed the pawn. Pushing the pawn's actually better. He actually took your knight. He didn't take you. He didn't push the pawn, Fox. box. Did he push the pawn or take the knight? I'm wondering because I hope I didn't put that move in there. Because if he took the knight, oh, he pushed. Okay. Yeah, because that's actually I thought that might be the better move because you have a chance if your opponent took here, you still have a chance of surviving with this. I think it's takes or let me see, maybe rook takes would be, and then rook takes, pawn takes. I think you still can survive in this line. You have enough pawns to continue, actually more than enough survival. You have 3 for the piece. You would actually be equal here. So be very careful when you play, my friends, because if you make one wrong move, this move actually is the winning move. But if you get greedy and you take this, this could actually end up being your a draw because there's 3 pawns and you can get your king activated, and there's enough. Your pawn chain, you have 3 passers, so that's more than enough. And if you can get to the 6th rank, like what we found today on Duda versus Nakamura, if you can get a pawn, 2 connected pawns, even if you're down a whole exchange or a whole piece, it's when it gets to the 6th and they're really strong, they can end up becoming worth 1 whole rook. Doesn't I'll be b4. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying here, here, b4. I guess they would be 2. Let's see. Let's draw a box. Yep. So you have to draw 3. Yeah, you're outside of the box. Yep, it is winning for your, yeah. Either way, that's sorry about that. That's not fun. But guess what? We learned from it, and we know that you have to find the best moves and to always be on this lookout for pins, and if a pin is broken. Sometimes we forget that pins are can actually, we think that a pin's there and you can actually lose a piece because the pin after the take is no longer there. It's kind of interesting. So we'll go over some tactics now. Let's do it. But that was a good game though. I gotta say that was a really well played game. You played really good. You had your opponent on the ropes. So it just shows you how important endgame study is. It's really important. And you can actually have a kind of worse position in the opening. Yeah, I don't. You see, your strength is great. It's endgame is a really hard area to master because it's really simple, but it's very complicated at the same time. So it's very the positions are very simple, but they're complicated positions. That means there's not a lot of pieces on the board, but that makes it really hard to judge if the position's winning or not. And it's all based at that point where your king is and where your some of your minor pieces are. You can make a slight inaccurate move, couple in the opening and maybe one in the middle game, but if you make an inaccurate move in the end game, it could be dire to your position. So I don't see. We all make mistakes, and remember what Tom Thumb Thumb says. It's not what you. It's let me see. Remember that mistakes don't define you. So you have to. It doesn't define you, and it's how you handle the mistakes that defines a chess player. Alrighty. But I agree that we all need to improve on our end game. A lot of these tactics are end game like, so it's good for us to do that. Let's see here. I'm thinking queen a1 check. What do you guys think? Black has a couple candidate moves. Queen a1 check. He has, if he intercepts with the rook, we take it. Hey, I like that. Yeah. I was gonna. I'll say I was gonna do a quote for you for the end, but I think it was like a quote of the week I was gonna leave with you guys, but I'll do it right now because it really would have a lot of impact. Don't give up. Get up. That's what I thought about when we do chess puzzles. Don't give up, get up. That's a I was gonna leave you my chess friends with that is don't give up, get up. But I think it applies a lot at this moment for us to think about. So what do you guys think about queen a1? If the bishop intercepts, if the queen intercepts, we win it. So the king has to move at that point. So queen a1, it forces check. It forces the king to move. So king, there's a couple moves the king can do. He can go king f2, f7, or king g8, or king f8. Oh, so he went king g8. Let's see here. He wants to sneak his way in through e7 to d8. He wants to try to sneak that way. I'm thinking that maybe the finishing knockout blow is rook h7, but I think that might, is that too silent of a move? Is that too quiet of a move? He has, I think it's too quiet because he can play then queen takes g4 check, so so if rook h7, queen takes g4 check, that was the idea that I looked at. So let's see if we can't do you have any ideas? I think though, I think he would play if rook h8 check. I think he's probably going to play king to e7. He'd probably play king e7. Yeah, I was just wondering. See, that's because I know that the computer wouldn't walk into a huh. Oh, true. Interesting. So rook h8, king e7, checked. Huh. Now we can get our knight involved. We can get our knight involved with knight f6 check here. Knight f6, knight f6 check here. King d8. We can actually mate. Yeah. Oh. Hold on. Ah, drat. We could have won the rook. app. Let's see. It's mate in 18. This one is we win the queen, and rook takes, and he's down. And if he takes here, we take. We could actually check. King c8, and then we take. We're still winning, but this one is this one's a win right off the bat. d6, queen e5. He has to move up here, and then now we can actually, if we wanted to, we just bring our knight in. Now we bring the knight in. Queen takes, and we're good to. We have our rook and we have a queen now. So, drat. That wasn't fun. So close. Queen takes e3 check. If king h1, rook f8, rook f8. We can castle kingside too. I like your idea. Queen takes e3. King h1. And then castle kingside would be a good move. I think we could castle short because we're not castling through check. I don't think, are we? Yeah. It wins a piece. Actually, that's a kaboom. Not just a boom. Because that was a good find, a good spot there. let's see here. Queen takes d6, check. King e8. Queen takes e6. And now we're threatening mate, and he'd have to give his rook up for the piece. What do you think about that for the first move? Queen takes d6, check. That's kind of what I see. Well, we take the bishop with check in this line. See, everything's with check here. Oh, yeah, you're right. Right, that's right. Sorry, there is no check. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that because he retreats. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it feels like check. Let's see here. Queen takes e6. Rook takes h2. King takes h2. Queen h2. Check. And then King g1. I think we're fine at that point. Or not h2, h7, sorry. It's not h2, that's funny. Yeah, we're gonna go with it. Yep. Good find there. Sorry about being quiet there. Yay! Oh yeah. Hooray, the Lord is good. Yay! Look it. Great job. Great work. Yay. We can't take because he has enough defenders, so. Do, 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 do. Rook e2. Bishop takes e2. Bishop takes e7. The bishop is covering e7 at that point. We don't want to give up our little darling if we don't have to. We could play Queen G3. No, that wouldn't work because he'd just grab our pawn at that point. So probably Queen G4 would threaten mate. Well, Queen G4, he threatens mate with Queen takes. Okay, we can't do that either. So if we play Queen G4, Queen takes F1, check, and he wins on the spot. So we can't do that. Very sneaky. Queen C4, C4 is really good. Queen C4 is a really sneaky move. Very, very sneaky. Let's see. Let's see if we can't. Let's see. Rook takes rook. Rook takes. Bishop takes. Rook takes f8. Rook takes f8. Queen takes f8. Bishop takes f8. No, we don't have any checks. Let's see. Rook takes g7. King takes g7. Queen check. Let's take a look at rook takes g7 check. King takes g7. Queen g3 check. King h6. There is knight takes d5, queen takes d5, and then queen takes a3, but I don't know if that's right. I'm thinking that that might be the move. Because the rook can't take. Knight takes d5. If rook takes d5, rook takes f8 check. Bishop takes f8. And queen takes f8 is mate. We could do it. Because if we can ever get our knight to be implanted on d5, just entrench it, we can play e7. Well, if knight takes d5, bishop d6, we have e7. And then that forks, and we're actually winning everything at that point. So I'm going with you guys on that. I'm with you on that. Rook takes. Hold on, let me see. Oh, okay. Do we, let's see, queen, well, we could, let me see, if we take there, queen takes the bishop, right? No, we still don't get anything after. I was looking at that. Queen takes d5, rook takes d5, and they're still being defended. We still have a back rank issue. So I think, and the bishop on a3. I think we do have to take. I think that's the. I'm thinking that that might be the loose end that we're looking at. Yeah, because then our queen covers f8. Yeah, I'm liking that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Liking it. We did it again. Yay. The Lord is great. Hooray. Great job, team. Another one. Another one. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. We're climbing up the ladder, one puzzle at a time. Yeah, we did. I vaguely remember this one. I think so. Yeah, it has something to do with, if I'm not mistaken, rook takes h6. Sorry, rook takes h6, check. It has something to do with that. Like, rook takes h6. If king takes h6, then we can play f5, check. Oh, I think you're right. Hold on, let me see. See, f5 check. E takes f5. Queen takes h6 check. G takes h6. Rook a g8 check. And I believe that's a mate. Oh, how did I... That's weird. I forgot the f5. That's funny. Hold on. Let me get that right. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Nice work. uh, yep, you got it, Fox. Yeah, nice job. 2 thumbs up. Nice work, guys. Nice work. You did great. Let's see here. Yeah, we can't take the rook because we get trapped with. If you're thinking about let's see, the queen takes a8, bishop b7. Let's see, queen takes e8, check. I don't know if we have enough compensation for that. Do we have enough compensation for the two? We're down a whole rook, so I don't know if we have enough compensation. Ooh, that does look tempting. Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm liking that. What do you guys think? Queen takes a8. If bishop b7, bishop e3, and if queen takes bishop on e3, we take the rook check, king takes, and then we win the queen. So we're up a whole exchange. Yeah, I'm liking that. What do you guys think? Are we behind Fox's line? I'm liking Fox's line. What do you think, Morphe? I'm approving of that of Fox's line. I like that line. But I wanted to see what you have to say. Yeah, let's give it a go. Nice job, Fox. Nice work. Let's see how we doing on our time. Let's. Do you guys have a? Yeah, well done. Do you have a game you would like to go over, like a Morphe game or anything? Because I really don't want to get into any big puzzles. Another puzzle until. So, do you have a game you guys would like to go over? I could pull up one of my games. That's probably what I'll do. I'll go over one of mine. Hold on, let me get one. Oh, you have a game? Okay. We'll go over that game. Perfect. Let's see, what do we got here? Because we'll end on a good game. It's always fun to go over the London system. London system as black. Oh, as black. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, this is they call it the reverse London type of setup. And then yeah, so far so good. It's the reverse London. Castles, okay. Yeah, all your pieces are active, and you have more space. Nice. Okay, that's a good move. In they come. Wow, that is crushing. I want to see if was there any thing better. Let me see after. I just gotta check something out. I wanted to see if I'm missing some. Could he have intercepted with? Let me see here, here. So far so good. So you did that one right. Yeah, I was wondering about. If we can just grab this. Okay. This I was wondering if we could just grab that, and if queen comes here, we have bishop that covers the rook, so the queen is almost trapped. And then we have check. And then probably just rook there to go after these pawns, and if he comes there, we just grab that. Okay, most definitely. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look in. And if smart, if you have a game you want to go over, you can put it in too. Let me pull up another tab. Ooh, a Morphe game, nice. Gotta love the Morphe games. So e5. That was an excellent game. Great play, Fox. Knight f3. b4. Bishop takes. So we did the Evans counter gambit. Morphe liked that Evans counter gambit, didn't he? I gotta say he did. Oh, wow. Smackdown. Boom, right there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And rookie won. Oh. You gotta love the crash and smash of Morphe for sure. Oh, whoa. Huh. Yeah, now he's attacking here. Oh boy. C6. Then kabang. Wow. He did shock the world when it came to his wow. Well, the Lord is amazing. He can your mind can even work when you're not seeing the board, so takes. If he takes here, that's checkmate, so he can't take there. He has to come here to hold. Only way. So he can't take. This is poisoned. Remember, mate. So he has to play there. He just grabs another piece, and remember, still can't take this because of mate. Bishop takes rook. Now there's no more mate, but we do pick up a rook. King c7. We take. If king took here, I'm thinking we have a check there. And then if he takes here, you have the knight comes flooding in like that. Yeah, and then if he has to come up here, and then now you can get more activity. If it comes up, you have that, and you're just crushing at that point. Yeah, wow, pretty impressive. Yeah, he doesn't want to trade off here because Morphe's up 3 pawns. His king takes, and then knight there. He could try to win a pawn back, but that doesn't work because here it's defended. So bishop takes. Now another. You see how Morphy uses all of the tactical principles that we're going over. He sets up for a discovery attack, a discovery check. He was a master at spotting those moves. So it tells you that that if we can spot those tactical nuances, you can win games. Check. And if the king takes here, then he's in a big time world of hurt. Let's see. I'm trying to see how can we. Oh, we finish him off there and there, so that he can't take our bishop. And if a pawn took, oh, his pawn can't take. Yeah. Check. Yeah, if he took here, it'd be mate. And so now we have check. Checkmate. Do you have any questions on any of those games? Yes, well, what was the question? Oh, was it Ouch Fest? Oh, that's funny. Hey, Foss, do you have any questions? On your game? I think it was the English notation, not the algebraic. It was the P. It was the P in line. I think it was this here. D like 3. It's like PD3. It looked something like that. It was something during it was something like that. I don't really know how to draw it very well, but they did notation like that, and then it would be all based on which side of the board you're looking at. And if you're white, it would be 1 through 8, and if you're black, it'd be 1 through 8 on the other side. That's why they have they had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then they had 8 all the way down here. They had that because of this notation here. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's actually P. I remember it now. P K 3 3. I think that's it. That's what it looks like. If you were to go back here and you were white, pawn king 3 would be this. Would be that move. This notation would be that move. And if you were to do pawn k4, that would be this here. Pawn k4. Oops, I gotta put that in. Sorry. Pawn k. Oops. How come that didn't get enlarged? The k didn't get. Oops. Oops. I don't want that. I don't know how that was weird. Let me copy this. Like that. There you go. And then it got really interesting when you did bishops. It was bishop this, king bishop to b3. It's something like this. If they were involving the king bishop, it'd be bishop k. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to put a number in. K king bishop. I think it's b3 if I'm not. We'll just say king bishop to c4. c4. King bishop c4. It would look like that. King bishop c4. Or would it be k b c, something like that? I'm not very good in the English notation. I know how to read it and do it on the board, but to write it is really hard. Okay, but do you because I may have it, yeah. Okay, all right. One more, and then I gotta log. Wow, I did the Evans counter gambit again. Wow. And that's it. Yeah, there's no way to, if he takes here, bishop takes back, and if rook there, so no, actually the bishop won't take. Sorry, the king will take. But the bishop takes is a blunder. You don't want to take with the bishop. So delete that one right off. This wins the rook in the corner. See, because if you took with the bishop, back here I'll show you, that leaves this square and the rook can go to it. But if you take with the king, it covers this square. Yeah. This is the, yeah. Okay. They're updating the site, so I don't know. It's a good thing we got done right now. I don't know if I see it says site is updating in progress, so I guess I'm gonna have to say adieu because they're updating everything right now. See, update. So I'm not gonna be able to do any of the move sequences. Are you guys okay with all of what we went over? Did I answer all your questions? Do you have any questions, Fox? Any questions? Okay, so Morphe, do you have any questions? That is funny. Okay, I'll take that as a no. All right. Okay, dokie. I wanted to thank you for all logging on. You know what? We're doing it. We're moving. We got to even we got to go and do some games. That was fun. We got to go over a couple games. Got to do some puzzles. Got to have some. It's always fun to do that. So we have to remember that life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. Treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. Remember that mistakes don't define you, it's how you handle the mistakes that define you as a chess player and a person. There are no limits, there are plateaus, and you must not stay there, you must go beyond the plateau that you're at. Knowing is not enough, we must apply, and willing is not enough, we must do. That's what Bruce Lee said. And like our quote for the week, or for the day, it all depends. I read good things and I get quotes from it. Is don't give up, get up. That's the quote of the day or the week, or you know what, just something to keep in your your back pocket when you feel like, man, I'm down and I can't get up. Yes, you can. Don't give up, get up. You can. You have to double knuckle down and get right back up and keep on going. Because if you love the field you're in, you can continue to keep doing it. Because the Lord's given you a gift, you got to keep pushing forward on it. And you know what? He's the reason that we have everything we have. And like Blindfold, beautiful games that Paul Morphy played. The Lord gave Morphy a mind to be able to do blindfold chess. We could do that too. We just have to train our minds that the Lord's given us, and not let the weedy ground interfere with our studies. We always talk about that ground. That I gotta say, it's one of that ground is the most prevalent one out there. It's because what'll happen is you'll think you're doing something, Then you miss a day of studying in chess, and it's like, no, I missed a day of studying in chess. And then what happens eventually? That starts happening and more and more and more, and then you don't do chess study anymore, and it's really sad. So you have to every day, even if you don't want to or don't feel good, even if you can't, pop on Chess Cruncher TV, you can always grab a chess book or something like that and just go over a couple tactics, one or two tactics, just to keep your mind focused on tactics. And then when you're feeling better, you're always welcome back on, and if you like what you see, you can always click follow, and we're on every night. So we just keep pushing forward, never give up. And what do we always do? We hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study when most won't, we do, and that makes all the difference, my friends. It truly does. And as Leslie So says, through the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and Lord willing, we'll be back on, and we'll strive to break that 2400 marker, and we're going to continue to go up from there, because we're not giving up, we're getting up. Great job. Keep going, keep studying, and always remember, chess is fun. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah! Be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.